Traded it all if I gave it all away for one thing.
Welcome back. I don't know. Can you hear me, Doc? Is it okay now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Doc, I've had him on my show. We're the last few years now. I have with me Doc. He's the owner of Hypnotic One. And we've been doing this show for a long time together. You have helped so many people out there. And I love when you come on because it's interesting about how you can help people. And people out there, they kind of like take their time for calling. Let's talk a little bit about you and what you do and why they should pick up the phone.
Well, you know what? The hardest thing for anybody to do is get out of their chair and actually take an action step towards success.
Take action, you action people.
It's like your last guest. He was on here. You know what? He's telling, call Ed. And you know what? How many people know that they should, but they don't do it? How many people know they should quit smoking, but don't do it? How many know that they should quit drinking, but don't do it? How many people? We all do. We all have something we know we should do, and we keep putting it off. It's called avoidance. You know, it's kind of like the ostrich syndrome. Put your head in the sand. If you don't see the problem, it's not there. That's why you avoid it. So let's get out of that, and let's get out of the ambivalence and the arrogance of saying, you know what, it won't happen to me. I don't know how many smokers that get cancer, and they say, well, it's not fair. I says, why not? It's said for 40 years on the side of the pack, you're going to get cancer. But they all say, I didn't think it happened to me.
Right.
Well, you know what? It does happen to us, and we need to take control, and we need to do it now.
Yeah. Now, we like to tell everybody to call him directly. Please leave a message while he's on the air right now. We want you to call in because we want you to get a free 30 to 60 minute consultation. You're going to get a CD. We're going to talk a little bit about that. His phone number is 602-547-0446. Leave a message. Tell him what your situation is. And you know what? He's going to call you. He's going to talk to you. Find out whether this works for you or not.
Right. We give you a free hour consultation to explain what we do and what we can't do. Otherwise, what real hypnosis is, it's not what you've seen on television where you're going to squawk like a chicken or bark like a dog, or that I'm going to take a pendant and put it in front of your eyes until you go to sleep, and 30 minutes later, all of a sudden, you're 20 pounds lighter. It doesn't work that way. But all of a sudden, you find yourself motivated. All of a sudden, you find yourself doing the things that you have to do and you need to do, but now you want to do them.
Now, can anybody be hypnotized?
Anybody listen to this show that understands it can be hypnotized.
And why do you give them the CD that goes along with it?
Well, they have the free consultation that kind of gives them the idea of what, and I show them, half a dozen different film clips of my past clients, how easy it is to go in and out of hypnosis, how easy it is to quit smoking or lose weight or whatever they are doing, getting off drugs. And then I give them a CD to let them go home and even try it out. That CD is a pretty general CD, but 30 minutes of hypnosis is like 3 hours of sleep. And who couldn't use more sleep?
It's the best thing that anyone can do for yourself. You get a customized program.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that it's customized to fit your needs. You won't let people fail.
The only way you can fail is stay home or do it your way. Your way doesn't work because if it did, you wouldn't need me. I'm your coach. I'm your trainer. And I'm your professor. I'm going to teach you some things that you didn't know. I'm your coach. I'm going to help you overcome your obstacles quickly and easily and give you a momentum that's going to take you down to your goal much faster.
You have a lifetime guarantee.
That's right. If I don't care what program it is, and we've got 2-for-1s right now, 2 programs for the price of one, because we can take care of multiple things at the same time. But maybe in 6 months or 6 years, all of a sudden, that old habit starts creeping back in. Before you let it to be a new habit, call me up. Or you put your CD back in, get back. I'd rather have you call me up and say, hey, Doc, I need a tune-up. How much is it? It's free. Come on back in.
His number is 602-547-0446. I want to talk about this for a real second here. It is the end of September practically already, which is sickening in itself. We've got October, November, and December. So how about doing something a little different this year? Don't wait till the new year. Give everybody you know the gift of your new self.
That's it. A lot of people start calling me up this time, and they'll say, well, how much is it to lose weight and do all this? And, well, I don't want to start right now, they tell me. I'll start after the New Year's. And I says, right now is the best time to start because instead of putting on 15 or 20 pounds, you'll take off 15 or 20 pounds. That's about a 20 to 30 pound swing. I would rather have that. And when you can take care of it over the holidays and not be tortured by all the food around, and make sure it's so simple and so easy. The rest of the year is going to be simple.
The number is 602-547-0446. His website is hypnotic1.com. He's been doing this for over 30 years. He has a 98% success rate. He's offering you a free 30 to 60-minute consultation that comes along with a CD. It's a customized program that's going to fit your needs, and he won't let you fail.
And I'm one of the few therapists that give you a lifetime guarantee. I do not charge per session. Once I set down your program, all the sessions are included. I don't care if you have 8 or 6 or 10 or come back 6 months later and have 5 more. It doesn't matter. It's the same price. And the thing is, I don't keep trying to sell you something on every session that you're there. Once you buy into it, that's it. That's all you ever pay me.
Now, let's talk. We've been talking a little bit about weight loss. We've been talking smoking. There are some other things, though, that people have. Lots of different issues that we all have that you need to get rid of.
How about procrastination? That's probably the biggest one that I run into. And then next is depression or stress. Everybody's stressed out. Everybody's watching the television. Everybody's avoiding what they need to do. Everybody's overspending. Everybody's doing something that they need to stop right now and start doing what they need to do instead of what they've been wanting to do. There's 2 parts of your mind, that conscious mind. That's the analytical, calculating part of your mind. And it's not very powerful. That's only about 10%. But that's what we have that no other animal on the planet has. But it's that other 90% is like a 4-year-old. That's your subconscious mind. And that's the me, now part of your mind. It says, you know what, I'll change tomorrow. They keep procrastinating and putting it off because you don't want to do it. But how about really wanting to do it and enjoying the new you? Because you will enjoy the new you. You'll get rid of your guilt. You'll get rid of your fears, your phobias, your anxieties, your depression, your stresses. You can get rid of stress. We're always going to have stressful situations, but we don't have to be stressed out about it.
How about that? Now, don't wait any longer. Don't put your head in the sands. If you've been saying, I'm going to call him, I know I should call him, get out of that boat if you want to walk on water. Let's start doing it.
And I think your callers, it's sinking into them because each and every time I'm on, I get more and more calls that they say, I've heard you a few times. Well, you know what? Now I'm getting the callers. I've heard you once, and now they're calling.
Good.
So,
I'm glad you are, and I want people right now to start writing this number down. It is 602-547-0446. Call, leave a message. He will talk to you, find out what your situation is, and see how he can help you.
if all you had to do, listeners, is to write down your goal and you'd achieve it, would you do it? If all you had to do is pick up the phone and call me and you'd achieve it, would you do it? If you wouldn't, then you're probably never going to achieve your goal. But I think everybody out there has something in their life they want to change, or they want to have better relationships. How can you have a better relationship if you don't change first?
Right. Again, his website is hypnotic1.com. That number, 602-547-0446.
And you know what? We talked about, or your previous guest talked about medications. How about getting off a lot of that medication? Because most of the medications that people are taking for blood pressure and cholesterol and all these things are because you don't eat right, don't do enough activity, and really don't have the right mindset. You change your mindset and you'll like the activity. Right now, most people, I see an advertisement on television for some kind of a mechanical device that's going to get them thinner. And they say the reason that most people don't exercise is because they don't have the time. No, they don't exercise because they don't like it.
They don't want it.
They don't want to. They would rather sit and watch television. They would rather sit and play cards. They'd rather sit and eat. But if you changed your mindset.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, they want to have fun. So you have to make that exercise fun. And you have to make that in your mind first.
Well, I'll tell you what, Doc, one of the things that we really want to do is make sure that people take the time to get out of that, out of the boat, so you can start walking on water. I've been saying that for a long time with you now. And people also need to know this about you. When you help one person in their family, usually you're now going on to the next. You have helped more people that are just sitting here in this studio. You've also helped tons and tons of people out there. And he is great. He's wonderful to work with. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk further. If you haven't called him, if it's you or someone you know, let's change before the new year. His number is 602-547-0446. 202-547-0446. It's Hypnotic, the number one.com. You're getting a free 30 to 60 minute consultation. I can't even say it. Consultation. Give them a call, for God's sakes. 602-277-5369.
If I traded it all.
So I get so excited when Doc is on the air that I can hardly talk. But it's
Oh, wow.
I do. I get excited because I know that you've helped so many people. We've even had doctors who have called in from the Mayo Clinic that are looking, because there's so many people out there that are reaching. They want to have a change. They can deal with, it could be anywhere from even if you're dealing with pain, if you've got business issues, if you have children issues, if your children's have issues. I mean, it goes on and on and on.
Yeah, I just help build a bridge or build a map to take a person from where they're at to where they need to go or where they want to go. Otherwise, most people focus on their problem. That's improper. You need to focus on the solution. Identify the problem and then focus totally on the solution. And there's usually many different solutions, but there may be some of them are not really easy, and they might even be painful, and that's why you procrastinate and don't do them. Nobody procrastinates on something they really want to do.
Well, his phone number is 602-547-0446. Leave a message. He's on the air with us right now. So you want to leave a message, you can check him out on his website. A lot of people do like to do that. It's Hypnotic, the number one.com. Doing it for almost over 30 years now, it's got to be. And you've been even hypnotized yourself.
Oh,
you've
many
done
times.
and you've hypnotized for people to do dentistry. You've done it so that they can deliver babies. It's a million things that you've done.
They can do an operation with no anesthesia whatsoever. You know what? Your mind is so powerful, but most people don't know how to use it. It would be like somebody giving you a brand new computer, but you don't know how to use it. You turn it on, you get, I don't know, and things come up on the screen. You can't get anything done, and so you just shut it off. Hello. Nobody taught you how to use your mind properly. They taught you how to read, write, and do arithmetic and the geography and everything else. And the geography, mind, that was kind of useless because all the countries have changed over in the Middle
Forget
East.
that now with me.
So, but the thing is we teach you how to use your mind. I'm going to teach everyone that comes in as a client of mine how to do self-hypnosis. So if you run into a problem, you know how to program yourself to overcome that obstacle.
602-547-0446. Some of the things that people don't know that you can do.
Well, gee, I think you can do everything with hypnosis. You know what? That'd be, I don't know what there is that I can't help people do better than
What
they
is
do
the
right
most
now.
common thing that people talk to you about? Is it drugs? Is it weight? Is it alcohol?
Yes, on all those, and the weight and the smoking and alcohol, depression, getting people to do things that they won't do now, and maybe not their self, but somebody else that's in a relationship with them. They all call up for somebody else. Before I come on your show today, I had a lady brought her nephew in to get off pot. You know what? And he's 19 years old. He has to get off pot before he goes into service. And he has to take off 10 to 15 pounds because they won't take him. So he wants to go into service so bad. So he's got motivation for it. And she said, and I says, my gosh, you're a great aunt. She says, when you get done with him, you're going to do my son. He's the same age, and he has the same problems. My gosh, this lady is so excited about their kids getting better.
I'll tell you something. Sometimes we talk about it, sometimes we don't. But talking about the kids, since you brought it up, our kids all have terrible issues today, more so than ever I could possibly imagine. We need to help them.
That's it. And most parents really don't know how to help them. The best way to help somebody is by leading by example. Otherwise, you can take and be a better communicator. You can have better relationships. You can be a positive person. You can always have that solution for every situation because it's a trickle-down effect. And all of a sudden, your child all of a sudden now learns from you that there's always a solution for every situation. It might be tough, but if you don't use that solution now, then you have an obstacle instead of a situation. And if you don't use it on an obstacle, it becomes a problem.
If you're having a problem with one of the family members, whether it's a child or not, this is now a family problem, and it affects everyone. And that's why I implore anyone out there who is having issues, whatever they are, you want to change things. Let's do it now before the new year. His phone number is 602-547-0446. It's Hypnotic, the number one.com.
I'm working with a child right now that controls the whole family, and he's still in school. And he's controlling the whole family, and he's getting by with it. They've taken him to psychologists, psychiatrists, nothing's worked. They've had him on drugs, off drugs. They tell him all kinds of things. Well, we're making headway, and it's only been a couple weeks. They would like to see it instantaneously, and who wouldn't? But it doesn't work that way. All of a sudden, they start thinking different, and when they think different, they believe different, and then they all of a sudden take new actions.
Well, there's also other things that you can do, things like for people who deal with sleep issues.
Sleeping is the easiest thing I do. I love to work with people who sleep because all you have to do is train them, retrain them how to sleep, because sleep is natural. People with sleeping disorders have trained themselves not to sleep. They've trained themselves to stay awake. And when they're awake, all of a sudden their legs shaking. Now they got restless leg syndrome. We get rid of that. They all of a sudden have higher blood pressure. They have inflammation. We get rid of all this.
How about with people in sales? How can you help them do better in sales?
Oh, I love sales, even though I'm not a salesman. But the thing is I love to work with those guys. The funny thing is most people are really not good salesmen. I tell them, quit selling anything. Just start being a great presenter. Know your product, know your service, know your competitors, and just enjoy it. No, not everybody's going to take and buy it or take in, enroll in it. And that's okay. I could have 5 people come in. Nobody enrolls. The 6th one that comes in, I'm just as excited for that 6th one that I would have been if I sold the first 5.
Sure. Now, okay, let's talk a little bit about this. OCD. Anxiety.
OCD and obsessive compulsive disorder. We've all got those to one degree or another. It's a habit that went kind of awry, but we can get rid of that. And the anxiety and even the migraine headaches, we can get rid of that in just a few sessions. Everybody's a little bit different. That's why I custom build every program for the person, not their problem.
How many people out there know what a nail biter or one yourself?
Yeah, a nail biter or a nail picker or hair puller or hair twister, a nose picker. You know what? There's so many things out there. There is a picker out there. And, people that click their teeth, people that do things.
There's so many different things.
Yeah,
Twitching.
Twitching is another thing. It's just an OCD or habit that's went awry. I've had an older lady that had a jaw protruding habit. Now, all of a sudden, her bottom jaw would start protruding. She couldn't stop it. Within 2 sessions, she didn't do it anymore. The first session, she stopped doing it, but she thought in her mind, let me try it, see if I can still do it. And she picked the habit up. So she comes back, and it was free, and boom. It was done forever.
602-547-0446. Depression.
Oh, I hate seeing people depressed. And if you look around at people in restaurants and bars and shopping, they don't look happy. So they must have a little bit of depression going on or a lot of stress. You can take stress and turn it into depression. You can take that depression and turn it into anger. You can take anger and turn it into depression. But the thing is, why don't we start eliminating what causes that? And that's what we do.
How about migraines? How many people out there suffer from migraines? You don't have to.
When people tell me that they are laid up 3 to 4 days with a migraine about once a month, I said, why? I says, come in. We can get rid of it. You don't have to have that. We know what caused it. We're going to find out.
602-547-0446. He's on the air right now with us. Call him, leave a message, tell him exactly what's going on. He's going to give you a free 30 to 60-minute consultation. It comes along with a CD that you're going to love to have just to have for that. It's a customized program to fit your needs. He won't let you fail. It's a lifetime guarantee. Do not call him. If you're driving right now and you're going to call later, but call him anyway.
Yeah, put it down in your notebook or put it in your mind and write it down that, hey, I got to call Doc at 602-547-0446.
You love what you do, Doc.
Oh, I love it.
You love it.
I get excited about it. And the bad thing is every once in a while I have somebody pay me and it never shows up. And my friends say, well, you made money for nothing. I says, yeah, but that's not what I enjoy doing. I enjoy taking that person, coaching them, training them, take them for where they're at to where they need to go or want to go and be successful.
Right. And it's so important. We have a couple of more minutes before we go that people realize that so many of us do procrastinate. And especially when it comes to something like this, for some reason, they don't just pick up the phone and go, that's it, I want it. Because it's not a weed whacker we're giving away here.
And that's it. If it had been a weed whacker, we'd had 50,000 calls for that free weed whacker.
For $19.95, right.
What is worth more to you? being in control of your life and your emotions and having better communications and better relationships, or that weed whacker?
Well, you know what? Sometimes you do need to take a weed whacker to your brain.
That's
really what it is.
But we just kind of massage your mind, and we don't beat you up on it, but all of a sudden you change your expectations, you change your beliefs about your actions and where you're at in life, and all of a sudden you start seeing doors that open instead of locked doors.
If you want to walk on water, you've got to get out of the boat. We're down to the end of the wire to the new year. Why not start now? Do something for your family that make them feel great.
That's it. Don't spend all your money on Christmas and everything else trying to make people happy. You know what? Why don't you be really happy yourself and always run into a person with a smile on your face? And whenever you're behind a smile long enough, you'll be in front of a smile soon enough.
I'll tell you something that's awesome. The number to call him is 602-547-0446. His website is hypnotic1.com. Call him, especially if you have a child out there and you're dealing with issues within the family. Do something different. Give him a call. His number is 602-547-0446.